Start recording. So back round to the Wednesday workshop, and I really enjoyed actually sharing and teaching that technique that we looked at last time. And there's a whole load of different techniques within what I do as a hypnotist and a coach that I kind of think, if you know how to do them, then you can use them for yourselves as well. So that's the plan to teach tonight. And this ties in with, I know Sally did the self-hypnosis. Of course, for people watching, of course, you won't actually see who I'm looking at, but I've got two Sallys here tonight. So might get confusing. I'll just kind of just throw it out. But we did the self-hypnosis workshop 7 days in a row, I think. We did a whole week of learning self-hypnosis, if I remember right. And that's available I think that's in the members area, actually. So you can access that. So this ties in nicely with that, but it's also a thing like last week where you can apply it for yourself, but you can also use it to help other people. And this one's especially good because it's connected to, you can use it for pain management, for helping people reduce pain. It's great for getting rid of headaches. And I'm not saying, that any of us in I Meditate would partake in an alcoholic beverage and end up with a bit of a head the next morning. But it's really good for that kind of thing, and just for general headaches and stress-related headaches. But as with a lot of the stuff we cover, you can apply it in more than one area, and that's what I like. It's a versatile. So we're going to look at the basic overall technique, the method, and then we're going to, there will be with the video a PDF with 4 different scripted little bits that will make sense when we get into this, to use either for yourself or for other people. So within the world of hypnosis, there is one of the hypnotic phenomenons, one of the most common hypnotic phenomenons is catalepsy. And you may have seen a hypnotist on a stage when they've got somebody and their arm is just rigid and locked out and it's not moving. They can't bend it, they can't move it, and it just stays there. It doesn't move, and it literally can stay there for ages with no strain or stress on the individual whatsoever. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at a way that we can induce a kind of catalepsy in the hand, in the arm, and then utilize that once we have that connection with the unconscious mind to get the unconscious mind to do some work for us. And sounds a lot more complicated than it is. And a little bit like going back to when we did the self-hypnosis, and in fact, the first few very first I Meditate sessions, where we used some aspects of self-hypnosis to help bypass the idea that we can't relax. We're going to be using a similar kind of approach here. So what I'm going to do first of all, before I go into the actual technique, is I want you to have a go at and explore something with me. It's going to be a nice interactive have a go type session. You're going to need a bit of space in front of you where you can rest your arm, your hand. Might be the desk. So for me, it's my desk in front of me. If you've not got a desk, it could be the arm of a chair, or it can be resting just down on your leg and upon your knee. And I know we've done this before, and I know we've done it with our eyes. So I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do this without any hassles whatsoever. So what we're going to do, we want to get to the point where we cannot lift our arm. Something I'm pretty sure we've done in the past. So what I want you to do is look at the back of your hand and then pick a point just to focus on. Might be a fingernail, could be a point like a knuckle, or a point in the middle of the back of the hand. Just focus on the hand. Just tell yourself, you're going to relax. Just my arm. From the shoulder to the elbows, down into the wrist, the tip of the fingers. I'm going to relax my arm so much that if I try to lift it, I'll find I cannot. And just begin to notice where you now find that relaxation first. And imagine, pretend what it would be like if your arm was so relaxed, so heavy, a little bit like if you've slept on it in the night, that you just cannot lift it. And when you are certain that you cannot lift it, I want you to very gently test that. I want you to try to lift it. Knowing it's your mind and your imagination, you can release that off. Just know, maybe give it a shake out if it feels a bit odd. And just looking back to the camera, were you both able to do that? Yeah, both able to get the arm so it didn't. Have another go. Just literally, we have done it before, and I remember you doing it in the past. Well done, Sally. Just relaxing that arm. Just imagining, pretending, like we do when we do the eyes and the eye sticks sometimes, just the arm instead. Just imagine, pretend what it's like, what it would be like if that arm was so relaxed. And it's good to do it more often because that way you get better results. So relaxed, so heavy that were you to try to lift it, you'd find you could not. Just tell your arm and your shoulder, relax. The elbow, relax. Down to the wrist, relax. The tips of the fingers, the hands, relax. Just imagine what that would be like if it was so heavy, like when you've slept on it, so heavy that you cannot lift it. And when you're certain that it's that relaxed, that you cannot lift it, just very gently test it. Try to lift it. Allow it to relax even more. And then try to lift it again as it relaxes even more. And if you're finding that the one hand still feels like it can move, notice what's happened to the other hand in the meantime when you try to lift that. That's it. Take a nice deep breath. And you can also notice that the more we do these things, the more you just relax in yourself anyway, because it's good to relax. Fabulous. So that's our first step in getting towards this. This is getting, Sally's got a thumb up this time. We got there. We got there. So the one thing I will say with this, there's different ways of doing what's known as a hand stick. This is like the easiest, less hassle version of it. There's another version where you get people and they're pushing every finger into the table whilst trying to lift it up and pushing down and pushing up. And that one's good, but it's a lot of jiggling around with words. Whereas if you just get people to use their imaginations of what it would be like and then ask them when they're certain. And so you can do this for yourself. In fact, we've used something similar to help us relax and go into meditation and in the self-hypnosis course. So you can use this for yourself. The next step from there, if we're using self-hypnosis, would just be to tell ourselves that once my hand's stuck, I'll go into hypnosis, I'm going to relax and feel good. And I'll come out in 5 minutes feeling great. And allow your eyes to close and just drift for a while and then come out. And once you've done that a few times, you'll pretty well be dead on 5 minutes if you check the clock before and after. So that's that stage. Now we've done that just so you can get that connection and that idea of the mind influencing the arm. So what we're going to do with this is called the rehearsal technique. And like I say, this is something you can either work for yourself, which is what we're going to do today, although I'll guide you through it. But also you can take other people through it. I will say with a hand stick, if you kind of go, I like that, and you like it as a way of getting a quick bit of relaxation, because once that's relaxed, you can't lift it. You can just send that through your whole body. If you practice it a lot, don't be surprised if sometimes you're not talking about this technique you've got for relaxing. I've got this to somebody, I've got this technique where I put my hand on the table and it just relax. And then when I can't lift it, I relax completely. If you're doing it regularly, Sometimes you'll find that even if you're just talking about it, when you go to lift your hand, you'll be like, I've done it again. And you won't have intended to, but you're actually at that point where you can't lift your hand. So I'll show you both ways that we're going to do this, both for if you're working it for yourself or with others. So it's called the rehearsal technique, and that's because we're going to rehearse what we're doing first. And at some point within that rehearsal, you're going to step from rehearsing it to the actual experience. If you're showing somebody else this, then you have the option of actually lifting their hand. Because I'm not there with you, I can't lift your hands, so we're doing it slightly different. But we're basically going to have the hand resting on a desk, on your leg, wherever, and we're just slowly. There's no rush. There's no like. If you go like this, you're not going to get there. What we're going to do is we're going to be just lifting the arm just very slowly, like this, keeping it relaxed. So it's going to be as relaxed as possible, and just lifting it very slowly, as though you've got a butterfly on the back of your hand and you don't want to disturb it. And then we're just going to let it sink back down again. We're going to lift it up again. We're going to do it again just slowly. And we're going to rehearse it. We're going to go through it because I want you to get familiar with the procedure just before you go into trance. And then we'll do it again. At a certain point, it's just going to stop. Maybe on the third go, maybe on the fourth go. And it's just going to hover there. And in the same way that when the arm was relaxed and you just could not lift it, it's just going to be there. And although you know you can move it, you also get a feeling that it's just going to stop. And once it just stops there, it just hovers there. As you just, at that point, enter into hypnosis, into trance. It's only a light state of mind. It doesn't mean your eyes are necessarily going to close, but it just means you enter into that stillness. And you'll notice that when that hand stops, things will just settle in and center. So let's have a go through that. Again, we'll rehearse it. We'll go through it. So before you go into trance, you've got a good idea of how this works. So hand in that comfortable position. And like I say, if I was there with you, I'd be lifting the arm just slowly and gently like this. Just a thumb and a finger either side, and then just gently easing it back down. And I don't know whether it be on the third or fourth go that you find that arm just at some point, it might end up here before it stops and then it won't go back down, or it might end here and it's just suddenly comes to a stop. But whenever it comes to a stop, you can relax and go within. So let's just gently putting that hand comfortably, just gently bringing it up, slowly raising it up. I mean, it might happen sooner for you. Just relaxing your breathing as you do it. Like I say, imagine you've got a butterfly on the back of your hand and you don't want to disturb it. And then just allowing it to sink back down just as slowly. And up. You can slowly breathe in as it comes up and slowly breathe out as it goes down until it just gets to that point where it just stops. And you just continue to breathe. And as you discover that point where it just stops, Just nod your head when you get to that place. That's it. And even though your eyes are open, you can feel that slight shift, that focusing within, that centering, that relaxing. And take a deep breath and just allow yourself to come back. Give your arm a shake if you need to. So thumbs up if you found that place where it just sticks. It just stopped. You gotta, yeah, you both had that point. Brilliant. It's a very simple technique. It takes longer to explain than it takes to do once you get there with it. So this time we're going to do this. And when you get to the point, I said, third or fourth time where it hits that point where it just stops. And the interesting thing with that just stopness is that it also doesn't take any effort to hold it there. It's almost like it's holding itself. And what that's doing, it's finding that perfect balance point where the muscles are both pushing and pulling equally, and it allows it to stay in suspension. Once it's in that point, and you're at that point, we'll do this again. Then just gently nod your heads to let me know that that's where you're at, and the hand is immobile. So let's rehearse that again. So arm resting. And we'll breathe in slowly as it lifts, breathing out slowly as it sinks. Lifting it up. And down. And second time, it might happen quicker because you've already been there just. And third time, if it's not stuck already. Just up and down until it finds that point. And when your arm is just suspended, resting there, just gently nod your head to let me know. And in a moment, as your arm begins to softly drift back down, just at a perfect pace, your unconscious mind can explore this experience. So it can recreate it for you easily and effortlessly anytime that you wish. An easy and simple way for you to enter into trance and hypnosis, just with the gentle movement of your arm, imagining a wave of calm flowing through your body as you enter into that place. And just in the time it takes for that arm to slowly drift down, your unconscious mind can learn everything it needs to learn about recreating this easily and effortlessly for yourself, but also understanding at a deeper level how you can help other people by teaching them this. As that hand makes its way all the way back down, just in the time you need to take. When it's all the way back down, just open your eyes and let me know that you're ready to move on. There we go. That is there. So this will have jumped if you're watching this on replay, and that's because we've been practicing it. And so what I'd encourage you to do before you go on to the final bit is have a practice and get a feel for it. I'm going to assume everybody's done that. So have a fidget, get comfortable. We're going to go this one more time. I'm going to take you through the process again, because repetition helps build the connections that help us remember it. And I might do a few things different than what we've been talking, but you'll get the gist of it. It'll be there for you. So have a fidget, get comfortable. And what I'm going to ask you to do in a moment, just so it's clear in your mind, is to just gently, really slowly as you breathe in, lift the arm up. In fact, you can lift it up to a good kind of height. And then as you breathe out, just allowing it going down. I say, imagine you're balancing a butterfly on the back of your arm as it goes up. And maybe you're gently pushing down against a balloon you don't want to burst as it goes down. We're going to do this a number of times, and at a certain point, it's just going to stick. Now, I don't know when that will happen for you, but when it does, you can just hover there. And once that hand does just hover there, you can allow your eyes to close. And I'll guide you through the rest. So bringing that hand back up again, just breathing it out, just lowering it down. And once you get to that point when your hand just floats, it stops and it's just there and you cannot move it, just gently nod your head for me. That's wonderful. And as that arm is there just doing its thing, almost like it's no longer your arm, you can allow yourself to relax and really just go within. So just allow yourself to drift and to float, and allow that effortless poise of the arm just to stand there, to be there. And as it's there, I want you to imagine that there's a magnet on the back of your hand. And that magnet, there's another magnet just on your cheek, on your side of your face. And that magnet's going to just start pulling that hand up higher and higher towards the face. As it does that, just in the time it takes for it to drift closer to the face, I want your unconscious mind to find a couple of nice memories of times, of things that were amusing, things that were funny, things that'll make you smile just now as you recall them, drifting up towards the cheek, just in the time it takes. And sometimes as it drifts, it can get even more amusing, even funnier, as though you can remember that now. That's right. And that hand may choose to stop in a moment or in another moment. But when it stops again, just being still where it is, you can keep that nice feeling and that warm feeling. That's right. And in a moment, just in the time you need to take, as your arm begins to softly drift back down at its own perfect pace, your unconscious mind can explore the vast spaces of deep peace and freedom from stress. With each gentle movement of your arm, imagine a wave of calm flowing through you, washing away any tensions or worries. Feel how, with every movement your arm lowers, you are letting go of the burdens that no longer serve you, releasing the stress and embracing a soothing sense of tranquility. Allow yourself to sink into this peaceful state now, where nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be changed. Just the calm presence of your own breath, your own heartbeat, guiding you to stillness. And as your hand makes its way back all the way down, feel that deep peace settling in, becoming a natural part of you. bringing freedom and ease into every moment, now and as you move forward. And as it moves, descends at the perfect time and pace for you. I wonder just how deeply you can experience that freedom from worry and that deep peace. And when the arm is all the way down, you can enjoy bathing in that pool of tranquility. And there's a part of you that learns and a part of you that understands. And I want that part to take on board everything you've experienced and heard today. To understand through your experience and the words that you have heard, not just how you can use this to help yourself, but how you can confidently use this to help other people to relax, to feel good, to release pain, whatever's needed. And you can do this. That's right. And in a moment, I'll count from 1 to 10. 1 is where you are now. 10 can be eyes open, feeling wonderful, bringing that sense of calm and peace with you. Bringing that freedom from worries all the way back to carry with you now and as you move forward to 1. Drifting back up to 2, to the here and now. 3, feeling a whoosh of energy rushing through the body. 4, ready to 5, take a deep breath in. Feel that oxygen flooding mind, body, and soul. Feeling good. 6, 7, to bring back that feeling of peace and freedom from worry. 8, 9, almost there. And when you're ready to embrace the rest of the week with that sense of calm and peace and tranquility, when you're ready to embrace the rest of the week with less worries, then on 10, you can open your eyes, be here, be now, feel good. And when you're fully back, have a stretch. That's right. All the way back.